That is your MCE editor. Everything you do with creating posts, it is critical to manage your editor. It is more critical than you could realize. So we go back to plugins. Now that we have gotten the Tiny MCE editor set up, we will go here. We will go here and we will actually go here and we will hit edit. And what we're going to do when we're right before we're done with this plugin part of WordPress setup is we'll go back and then we will activate these things. But there's one of these that you don't want to activate until your website is actually set up. So what we're doing now is we are going to go into we're going to actually go into the edit function, and we are going to go and again see the HTML, see this HTML code here. But we think what's more critical is for us to go to actually go into, we're going to go to settings. We're going to try to open that whole thing. We're going to try to open that whole thing up. So when you think about general settings, let us go here before we go back there. When you think about general settings, folks, we got to say this because we forgot to say it in the first video, is that you want make sure this whole thing is empty. Now this becomes important when we go into the Google when we go into the Google Sitemap feature. Now let's go to appearances. Now plugins, some of them are in the appearance tab, and what you will see here is that when we go to widgets, so you went to appearance, you went to widgets, the ultimate follow me is something that you have to make a decision on, whether you're going to put it in sidebar or what you're going to do with it. But the ultimate follow me plugin is actually a sidebar widget, and you left click on this and you drag it over here, and this is where you actually edit this at. Now we told you on one of our websites, this is how we title it. And basically what you will see here is you go to your Facebook, Twitter link, Google Plus, YouTube, or email address. The display the RSS feed, you can do that if you want to. It looks nice, but you know how we feel about that. We recommend this certainly in our social media optimization piece, is that you actually log in to whichever of these you have. You log into these, you copy, and you copy the web address, and you copy it straight into here. Folks, don't try to type in your address, even if you think you know it, because you could miss one hyphen, you could miss one letter, and this will totally invalidate the link that's here. Now the question becomes, should I even sign up for Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Plus, YouTube? That's up to you. But we teach in the social media optimization piece that every one of these and about 70 more websites can be used also to get your message to the top of search engines, not by your name or your company name. Take advantage of our social media optimization offer, folks, and learn to just totally annihilate your competition from the top searches in Google using these already established platforms. Also, before we leave here, first what we're going to do, we will just make up some usernames just so you can see what this looks like, and we'll come back later and actually put them in so you could see how the links work. But that's going to be a part of the overall theme when we go through each to show you the functions. Now, I would set these up. I mean, I just do that. I mean, it is asinine not to do it. So what we're going to do is we'll just type these in just so you can see how they look in on your template. Now, with that said, you have to make the decision. You have to make the decision on whether you want people to go away from your website to these other sites. It costs, folks. It really costs for you to, and we'll just put the actual website in there, that this the home page of the website. It costs to send people away from your site, but we use it because we want people to understand as much as they can about our business products and services. So we'll go there, Google Plus. We hope these are right. So YouTube, you would just go and be sure that, and these are just taking you to the home page. Go copy and paste your own ID in those to make sure. Email address, I wouldn't put that there, but that again, that's just me. Display RSS feed. It looks good. We don't need it. We think it's an absolute joke. So the next thing that you have to decide on this plugin is what size you want. We like to keep it clean and neat. So this is what we do. Now that you, and remember, you're going to go copy your actual addresses, your actual profile addresses, which would be after here. It would be a URL after each of these. So we will go ahead and then we pick the size. We're not doing RSS feeds. Those are, yeah, whatever. We're off that kick. So we'll go ahead and close it. And one thing that you've noticed so far as it concerns plugins is some plugins are seen and some are not seen. So just realize that. We won't go into what that's all about. So we go to the home page of this AdWords site, that AdWords by Google site that we're building. And what you will notice is right here. This is the tab, and this website is going to begin to take shape as soon as we are done with our with our plugins. So sometimes you'll come back and you won't be able to see anything. We don't know why that is, but all we do, whatever browser you use, is we go ahead and we refresh it until we can see what we're doing. So the title isn't showing up. We'll look into why it isn't showing up, but you saw the results of that. So when we go back down to plugins, the next thing that we are going to look into is the WordPress gzip plugin. These are one of these behind the scenes plugins, folks, that I mean they provide great value, and once you install it, it kind of does its own thing. Why this is important will become readily apparent in our SEO series. If you are serious about SEO, folks, you have to understand why this is important and why this is one of the plugins you need to manage well. Matter of fact, I would tell you this, is that if you said to me, I only have 2 minutes a day and I got to manage one of these plugins, I'm so overwhelmed with plugins, would you suggest managing gzip plugins or ultimate follow plugins? I would tell you this, is that before I would ever get social and make my website look cool, if I had to make a choice, it would be gzip compression. Now, another thing that helps your SEO is this super cache. Now, this is very in-depth. This we have got to say, this is kind of very in-depth. We go over each section of this, and when you think about having a Google XML sitemap, when you think about having your website compressed, and then when you think about cache and pages, folks, those are really the heart, and you text and some other things, but these are really one of the things that's at the heart of your SEO campaign, and it's going to make the difference between a page 5 listing and a page 1 listing. So what we will say is you just go ahead and turn your caching on, update your status, and then take advantage of our WordPress SEO series so we can show you how critical this is. Now, as we come to the end here, what you will notice is these things, most of them are activated. And you see the deactivate here. The one thing the one thing that we will tell you, and we found this over, we got so many websites, we've done so many websites over the years and measured them and watched them and SEO'd them and all these things. One thing that you do not want to turn on until you have your posts, until your website is built, is Google XML sitemap. So we're going to deactivate that. Why that is, yeah, I could go into that. It's part of the WordPress SEO series, but it's more extensive than what I'll say here. Uh, when you are building your website, what you will find out as we end here is that the number of inbound links, or the number of links, whether it's just uploading images or files or creating posts of pages or sidebars, uh, there is a point at which, and we don't know what that point is, but we actually destroyed a website to prove this. The website was earn money, was money earned at home. We were at the precipice of page 1 listings. That means the page 11 spot. And we also know how many posts, the number of words, the tags it takes to jump to search places every other day on Google. And it's not spamming. But we said to say this is that we inserted, we said, okay, let's see if this and that website would have been lucrative. I said to my staff, I said, let's insert one link, the same link, or well, various links into our website. And they said, how many? I said, well, let's insert, I said, let's do 25 links in one day. We did that, and our ranking went from 11 on the precipice of almost 1 million searches, key geo-targeted searches a month of page 1. We had a great offer, and they said, well, it's going to hurt our revenue. I said, we have to know this so we can tell people authoritatively. We went from almost on page 1 in 2 days to page 15. So we are saying that to say this is that you don't want your website crawled until your website is set up as well as you can. So because you'll be adding 20 links a day probably, and it will kill you. It will kill you. So there's more in depth. We show you other deeper techniques, but turn off your Google XML sitemap, folks. Turn off your Google XML sitemap until your site headers, everything is ready. And that ends your video tutorial on necessary free plugins with WordPress setup.